A while back, the Lord said we need to watch our dream life, that he was going to begin to speak to us in dreams. And I feel like God gave Mike a personal dream, and it's a very personal thing I've asked him to share right now. But at the same time, I believe that this dream has a real, it's a message for all of us. So Mike, thanks for being willing to share that, and just tell us what the Lord showed you, or in the dream, and what that meant to you.
Well, the dream was powerful. It was about 3 weeks ago. I had the dream, and I've been going through some issues of lately, and for last couple of years, and really been trying to mow through past history and stuff, and trying to overcome that. And it was about a month ago where I was putting my son down to bed, and he's 4 years old, and he's not so much into the Lord right now as Leanne was, and so we talk about the Lord and pray and all that kind of stuff, and he's just like, yeah, whatever, and he's a boy, so I was putting him to bed, and he just looks at me. He started to look around the room, and he goes, Jesus is knocking, and I go, what's he saying? And he goes, the door is closed. I went, oh, all right, and then he says, okay, get out of my room, I'm going to bed. I said, all right. And then a couple of nights later, let's put him down to bed again, and the same thing happened. He starts looking around the room, and he looks at me, and he goes, God's praying for you. And I was just like blown away, It's like he doesn't talk like this, And same thing. He's like, all right, I'm going to bed. Get out of my room. And I was like, all right. So, and I was in a bad place at that time. I remember that day, but I remember those days. I asked the Lord, I want to be in a place to enjoy my family tonight. And out of that, I was able to enjoy my son those couple of nights, and it was real rough. And so I had some bad dreams, some nightmares, and I had them for like 3 nights in a row. And first I got to thank my family here at the church, and my wife and my kids, because they're so faithful to the Lord, and everybody here is so faithful to the Lord. And if you're struggling with anything, don't be afraid to come and talk to the pastor or let anybody know, because they can pray for you and get you through stuff. And I had this dream, and it was so powerful, and it just woke me up. It woke my spirit up, and ever since then I've been like on a cloud and just pushing forward. And like I said, the few nights before that, there were bad dreams. I was being chased and all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, God, what's going on? And all of a sudden I had this dream, and I had to wake my wife up, and I just I stood up in bed, and I was just like, wow, and I couldn't stop talking about it. So the dream was I was walking on a path, and there was a field, and the field was brown, but it was like tall grass. And I was walking with my old boss, and his name is Al Corse, and it was from, he was like a mentor to me from when I was 18 years old up until I was 30. And I think the significance was his last name, Corse, being on a course. And we're in this path, and we're walking, and then we see this brush. The brush was like laid down like there had been an animal prowling through there, and he's like, hey, let's just be careful. There could be a wild animal or something. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And I remember just walking, and I wasn't thinking about much. I'm just walking on this path, and all of a sudden this lion comes out of the grass, and the lion comes up to him, and all of a sudden now I'm distant from him. I'm no longer next to him, and he's standing there, and the lion just like sniffs him, and then comes by him and around, and like just comes around and on top of me, and like has my back. It's just like on top of me. I can't see the lion anymore, but then the lion puts his paw on my head, and Al's sitting there saying, he goes, just be calm. And I'm like, calm? I'm like, I'm not going to say a word or even breathe, but I didn't feel like that. I felt like nothing could bother me. Nothing could move me at that moment. Nothing, other than having the fear of this lion, because the lion took his paw and moved my head back and forth and let me know that he's there. And the paw just rested on me. It just rested, and it was like purring. And I could feel it. It was like so real that I could feel it. And I was sitting there going, this is a trip. I'm going, I can't do anything. I can't move. I can't breathe. I can't do anything. But what I felt was the fear of this lion. And the fear of the lion was so significant that at that moment, in that dream, everything was lifted off of me. Every burden, every trial and situation that I have ever been through. And it was so calming in my spirit that I woke my wife up and I was telling her about it, and we're just sitting there smiling, and I just couldn't believe the dream. And then, as I've been talking to Pastor Miles and stuff and explaining it to him, and he's like, wow, the last name course, the paw, the 5 fingers, the fivefold ministry, the Lion of Judah, resting on me. And then ever since then, I've been reading Scripture. It's all about having fear of the Lord and walking the path. And you've been having sermons about it. And then right after that dream, there was another dream, and it was a little bit different, but it was all about God and me, abiding in me and me in him. And that no matter what anybody does, as far as man goes, that doesn't change the course that God has for me. It doesn't change who I am in the Lord. It doesn't change. It doesn't matter if I don't believe what the pastor's saying or anybody else. It's all about the Lord abiding in me and him. And I can cut through anything, and as long as I have the fear of the Lord. And that was pretty much the dream.
So good, man.